As we continue to work with whole numbers, in this lesson we're going to talk about rounding whole numbers. And we're going to do this when we don't need the accuracy of the exact number. I have put the place value chart back up here because when you round, you must always have instructions about what place value to round to. Do you round to the nearest tens? Do you round to the nearest thousand? Do you round to the nearest 10 million? That must be part of the instructions in order for you to round. All right, the rules for rounding are as follows. To round to a certain place, and it means place value, locate the digit in that place. Consider the next digit to the right, so you look to the number to the right of the place you're rounding. If the digit to the right is 5 or higher, round up, meaning add 1 to the place of the original digit. If the digit to the right is 4 or lower, round down, meaning leave the number as it is, but change all the digits to the right to 0. All right, this is going to make more sense if we look at examples. The first one, it says, what is 36 rounded to the nearest 10? Be sure you acknowledge what place you're supposed to round to. All right, the number 36, I recommend that you underline the 3 because it's in the tens place. But you look behind it and it's the digit to the right of it that makes your decision. This is a 6, which is 5 or bigger. It is bigger than halfway. That means that you're going to round up and the 3 becomes a 4 and the 6 is replaced with a 0. And what this really means is 36 rounded to the nearest 10 is closer to 40 than it would have been to 30. So 40 is the rounded value. All right, let's look at another one. We have 688, and the instructions say round again to the nearest 10. All right, I have an 8. Now, the size of that number doesn't make any decisions. It is the size of the number to the right of it. 8 is 5 or bigger, and it says to round up. So if we round up, this will be approximately 690. You notice that the place, the tens, was an 8 and it rounded up to a 9, and you always get a 0 behind it. I have a squiggly equal sign, which means approximately. Next one. The instructions say round to the nearest 100. All right, I have 477, and the 4 is in the hundreds place. The digit behind it is a 7. Because that's 5 or bigger, once again, I round up. And this is approximately 5 in the place, and always followed with zeros. You always have zeros to the right of the place that you rounded to. So that it rounds to 500. All right, let's look at the fourth one. I have 7,943, and I'm supposed to round to the nearest 100. All right, a 9 is in the hundreds place. Behind it is a 4. That says round down. When it says round down, you actually do not touch this number. This will remain 7,900, but follow with zeros. So rounding down means those go to 0 and this number stays the same. So this is closer to 7,900 than it would have been to, and if I'd rounded up, I would have had to carry to 8,000. All right, let's look at one more. I have 58,585. It says round to the nearest 1,000. Okay, nearest 1,000. Well, the 8 is in the thousandths place, the implied 1,000ths place. Behind it is a 5. 5 is halfway between 58,000 and 59,000. But the rule is, if the number behind is 5, you always round up. So this will be approximately 59,000. All right, I want to show you one example that you won't encounter in your homework, but I would like to just mention this to you. Suppose I have 37962. I have 27,962, and I say round to the nearest 100. All right, 9 is in the hundreds place. The 6, because it is bigger than halfway, says to round up. You didn't have one of these in your assignment, but I wanted you to see it. When you round up a 9, it needs to become a 10. But I can't put a 10 in one spot. So I put the 0 there and I carry 1 over to the next place. So I'll have 28,000. So although I was supposed to round to the nearest 100, it ended up affecting the thousands place because I had to carry. The 9 had to turn into a 10 and the 1 got carried over. So we don't have one of those, but I wanted you to see it. All right, now do your assignment on rounding.